guys, so this is my PJ broadcast. So this is the news, the gaming news that I have really taken note of, obviously, over the last week. So if you don't already follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and you follow me on this channel, obviously on YouTube, then I would follow me on Instagram and Twitter, because then you've got a whole look at everything that I'm doing. So basically, the weekend just gone, I was in Thorpe Park, Harry Potter World, as well as Natural History Museum, the London Science Museum, and a gig for Dragon Force. So obviously there are photos and bits and bobs of those up on my Instagram and my Twitter, so it just gives you a little extra snippet kind of thing if you guys want to see those kind of things, and it also means you know kind of what I'm doing. So because of that, this weekend I obviously didn't do a broadcast in regards to my recommendations. So obviously I am back on track now and I will get them done. This weekend I am, from Thursday night, I'm actually in Alton Towers. So obviously I've done Fright Night, we're doing Alton Towers. So if you want to see that as well, I will put a video up on my YouTube, but there will be lots of photos going up on my Instagram and tweets going up on my Twitter. So if you want to catch up with those, then please do. If this is the first time to my channel, that is my clock. I always have a habit of getting my butt in gear right before the clock goes off, always, without like a doubt. And if I haven't got that one going off, I've got another one in the other room. It's like a cuckoo clock, because that's the grandfather one. So basically I've written it all out. It's all pretty, just because there's a few bits in this one that I don't want to get wrong, and two, that I've got quotes in it and stuff like that. So I've kind of written parts of it out. So obviously Star Fox 2 has been out for a while now, obviously in regards to it's been released on the mini SNES. So obviously that is in America and the UK as well as Japan, I believe. So yeah, it is it's getting a few reviews. So most of the reviews are kind of like mediocre, and some people aren't taking into consideration that it's a game that was originally made in 1995 for a system that was created in 1991. So IGN preferably have given it 5 stars, and that is out of 10 obviously. But it was done by a guy called Sam Claiborne, and yeah, it's a bit, his kind of reviews a bit weird. It's kind of like, obviously this is one of the bits that I've written down. So he actually stated that it's a mediocre Star Fox 2, has some totally 90s moments, but its primitive, choppy 3D gaming gets in the way. And I don't mean to be rude, but that must be like every game on the SNES then, because they are all 90s games and they are all primitive. Now they are, but when they came out, they were amazing. I remember playing games where people's faces were square and they had no facial, like anything, no eyes, nose and mouth, because they were just so primitive. But back then it was like amazing. Like, do you remember like compared to like what the Sims used to look like to what the Sims looks like now? Like the first one was like, oh my gosh. I remember spending like my life on that game. I was amazing at it. But yeah, it's just a bit random and a bit weird, like especially, I said, in regards to, it's pretty much exactly the same as Star Fox in visuals. But again, it's not necessarily the best thing to say. Like, I feel like he's not looking at it as a 90s game in obviously 2017. He's looking at it almost as like a 2017 game. He might as well be reviewing it next to Evil Within or Mario Odyssey. You know, it's never going to get, you know, it's a bit of an unfair review. He actually then goes on to say, I was mesmerised by the pastel polygons of Star Fox 2, whilst abstract ships swirled in a stop motion dance in front of me. I kept thinking this was the most beautiful game I've played all year. But where I saw art, others who stopped by to check out Star Fox 2 just saw a blur of awkwardly rotating triangles at about 10 frames per second. Setting aside the appreciation for game history nostalgia, Star Fox 2 is kind of a mess. And it's like, I don't get that either. He's basically in the first paragraph of that been like, it's amazing, it's wonderful, it's beautiful, I love it. And then in like the next bit, he's straight away being like, yeah, but other people are totally tainting my view. They're going, yeah, kind of, it looks a mess. And the thing is, they might not also be gamers, so they don't understand that it is a game from 1995 that was created in 1995 for a console, I said, that came out in 1991. They're going, that doesn't look like what I'm used to seeing nowadays, and I don't like it, which is a bit just, yeah, I just think it's silly. He also goes on to say, Star Fox's 2 primitive 3D is badly drawn, that Nintendo actually cancelled in 95 before it came out because it didn't look good alongside the groundbreaking 3D of the N64. And that's just a bit, yeah, no one really knows why Nintendo didn't bring it out except Nintendo. To be honest with you, it could be that, but no one actually knows, and it's a bit weird that he's stating these facts. He's not actually stated like, oh, someone said that to me from Nintendo, but he's just kind of stating these facts, and it is a bit, yeah. No one really knows. It could have been that they made it, they weren't happy with it, you know, it just said lots of games end up in the archive, and that's not just with Nintendo, that's with Xbox, PlayStation, you know, so Sony or Microsoft and stuff like that. So not just Nintendo and not just Star Fox 2, it's just a bit random how he's perceiving to know. So obviously not many people have agreed with this review and are actually stating it and kind of slagging it, I guess, and being like, exactly like, dude, what are you doing, what are you saying? It could, you know, it's not a 2017 game. As I said, it's a 1995 game, and he's getting a lot of jip for it. Games Radar also reviewed it, and they reviewed it a 3.5 out of 5. You know, they actually stated that it was more the sense of it wasn't just a bog standard. They struggled to kind of review it because it wasn't a bog standard game. It wasn't a 2017, either within Mario Odyssey, Zelda, Breath of the Wild. It was such an old game, and they had to go into it with such that mindset. And considering that we're so used to such easy movement and stuff like that, they did find it incredibly difficult. So, yes. So the next thing is with sad news, which is kind of, it is really sad. So Nintendo have announced the end of the eShop, and that is for the Nintendo Wii and the Wii U. So I kind of anticipated it would be the Wii, but I thought like the Wii U would live a little bit longer than what it has. I know everyone says it failed. Excuse me. Oh gosh, so tired from the weekend. But yeah, I know everybody's like, yeah, but the Wii U failed. But it's got some amazing titles on there. But yeah, so you have about 1.5 years on both before they officially shut down. So they officially shut down both of them on the Wii U and the Wii U and U, the Wii and the Wii U on 31st of January 2019. So I say you've got about 1.5 years. You can also you also can't add funds to your account anymore after the 18th of March. So yeah, it's kind of like, that's 2017, so it has actually gone. So it kind of sucks in a sense, because I really like the Wii and the Wii U. I obviously play my Wii U. I don't own a Wii because anymore. I just use my Wii U. But then, being completely honest, I packed my Wii U away the other day, put my Switch up so it looks nice and pretty up there in its dock, and put the Wii U under the bed. But I have recently played Wii U games, so it is kind of sad. Obviously, the virtual console will shut down. will take, and when it does, it will take more than 200 games, classic games with it. So that kind of sucks, because some of these games are like Mother of Earthbound and stuff like that, that are a couple of quid to buy on the Wii U and the Wii. But if you want to buy them games and play them normally, excuse me, it's a lot of money. You either have to own the original console and system and the original game, or you've then got to go for an emulator, you know, and some people don't like to do that, which is fair enough. But, you know, it is kind of sad. So I definitely suggest buying the games that you want if you can. I'm assuming they will still let you kind of, when I normally buy games, I don't leave funds on my eShop. I kind of go, it's $2.99, only take exactly $2.99. So I'm hoping they'll still let you kind of do that. But there's definitely going to be a few that I'm going to go on and just see if I can grab. So the next topic, I guess I'm going to say is, one is like nearly a page and a half long. Also, it's kind of what I'd say sensitive. So I'm going to straight away, I've written it all down, as you can clearly see. So I'm literally going to, some parts read word for word because I don't want to offend people and stuff like that. So Pokemon Go has got itself a new hack scandal. So I don't really, it's just so random. So Pokemon Go has had a lot of scandals over its short year and a bit life. So it has had everything from players being robbed, players falling into like the river or the ocean, people walking off cliffs, a ridiculous amount of trespassing, obviously, a dead body was found, and many car accidents. So it's been definitely part of some controversy and stuff like that. So what it is apparently Russia has used Pokemon Go to mess with other countries. So they don't know why they use Pokemon Go. It could be that its popularity, it's reaching out to a much wider like amount of people. So it's just one of those things. So this is coming from CNN. So that is that cyber experts in Russia called Internet Research Agencies apparently have been hacking the game. So apparently when the game was at its highest in Russia, they used the game to basically, I guess, stir shit up in the US. So it's kind of hard to explain, and this is the bit where I'm going to read from my little script that I've written. So apparently what they've done is they formed themselves a group similar to Black Lives Matter, and that is, it was called Don't Shoot Us. So apparently to do with the police brutality in regards to the US, they created a Tumblr account, Facebook account, Instagram account to go with this. And what they did, they encouraged players to go out and play in areas where incidents had occurred, which is dangerous for anybody in the US, because you don't want anybody getting hurt. So or even to call their Pokemon by the victims' names, which again isn't very nice for the victims' families. And it isn't, I just wouldn't think that, I wouldn't like it personally. So I think that's not very nice. So one post shared was a post named Eric Garner, after the African American man who died after an encounter with the American police. And the prize for winning the contest was an Amazon gift card. So this was one of their kind of like prize giveaways, as I said, for going out and kind of grinding, I guess, on Pokemon Go near the area, subject area, as well as I said, calling your Pokemon by these names, so the victims' names and stuff like that, which again I said isn't nice. So apparently CNN found no information that anyone actually participated in this, you know, and people have asked why would they do this. Nobody really knows, but people are saying it was to basically stir up more controversy against the US police departments, so, you know, to get people riled up and wanting to do something. So Niantic has said they will look closer into this and learn more, and you know, they kind of have to as a company. They do have to. I'm not gonna lie, like, I don't even really know how many people play Pokemon Go anymore. I do every now and again. I do still have it downloaded on my phone, and I do every now and again turn it on, but I'm not as into it as I used to be. So, oh, and Russia has denied everything, calling CNN a talentless TV channel. So it's just one of those things. Oh, and so far, the Don't Shoot Us group, all their social medias have been suspended due to this accusation, apart from its YouTube and Tumblr accounts. But the Tumblr account is still active, but it's only posting about other issues at the moment. So it is definitely a bit of a... it's just a bit random. I don't really know why, if it's true, why they would do it. You know, it just seems really silly, and I just think in that aspect other people could get incredibly hurt, which is sad, and I wouldn't want that. So the next thing we've got, Evil Within 2 is out and has been out for about a week or so now. Oh, actually no, it came out on the 13th, didn't it? So it's been out for about 3 to 4 days, and reviews are coming in short and sweet. So there isn't many, there is only a couple at the moment. So it's actually got an 80 on Metacritic and an 81 on OpenCritic at this time of this broadcast. But if you're not into gore, then I wouldn't really recommend this. It is a very, very good game, and I absolutely adored the first one. I am looking forward to picking up the second one, obviously when I have the funds to, because I am on a very tight budget at the moment, which kind of sucks. Sad times. But it was like also a chop between that and Mario Odyssey, and I really, really want Mario Odyssey. So, and I know I will spend more time on that than I will on Evil Within in one lump. So but if you're okay with gore and you haven't picked it up yet, I would highly recommend that you go and pick up the first Evil Within. You can pick it up from your local stores, so Game, or even your secondhand stores. So in the UK it's kind of like CEX and Baseco. So you can pick it up from these stores. You can probably even pick it up still from other stores, so like Toys R Us and bits like that, and Smith's Toy Shop. But yeah, I would definitely recommend it, and you can actually pick it up now second hand for about no more than £5. So if you're really looking for a game just to help you out, then I would definitely pick it up. So the next bit that I have is more of a light-hearted note. Again, I do need to read off of this little bit because a lot of information, but I thought we'd end on this week on a bit of a lighter note, considering what we've discussed earlier. So we're going to talk about the Rick and Morty Szechuan sauce incident. So I find this hilarious, the fact that it's got so out of hand. It's just ridiculous. So if you don't know, Rick and Morty is a cartoon. It is amazing. It is really funny. Me and my boyfriend obviously I'm trying to catch up because I didn't watch it in the beginning, but he is completely up to date and we do watch it. So in the show Rick and Morty, Rick kind of comes out with this one-liner about Szechuan sauce and about how great it is, and that they only run it for a certain period of time and stuff like that. It was a chicken nugget. See, that should be painted. So it's a chicken nugget dipping sauce that came out in conjunction with the Mulan Disney film. I believe it came out in about 1998, which created obviously the meme itself is from the Rick and Morty show, so it's created kind of a big joke about it and a meme. So I guess McDonald's kind of thought they wanted to get in on it, and it was a bit of a cash cow almost. Like, it's their sauce already, they've already got all the ingredients, why wouldn't they kind of thing. It wasn't actually even in conjunction with the show Rick and Morty, and after the incidents that have happened, the actual people, the writers of Rick and Morty, have had to turn around and state that they had nothing to do with this, it wasn't in conjunction with them, and it's nothing to do with them, basically, which is kind of sad, because it's kind of brought them down a little bit, which it shouldn't be allowed to do that. So also, even though it was kind of like a throwaway joke and it was meaningless, it kind of has gone a little bit out of control, which is very random. So I just think you kind of don't do this kind of thing if you can't just go ahead with what you promised. So firstly, McDonald's said it was going to do this dipping sauce at certain locations. Each location is going to only have about 30 cups each of this dipping sauce. So they also put trackers on their online, so you can see where they were going to be and what locations were going to have this dipping sauce. So if you really wanted it and you wanted a queue, then you could go and do so. So yeah, people, they turned up early and they went and queued at the Pacific locations. Apparently they were saying it was going to be at. Then they also started handing out raffle kind of tickets, but they also handed them out too early. So the whole thing kind of ended up in a big hoo-ha. Kids are crying, hardcore fans are just losing their shit and taking it out on the staff. And as a person that has completely worked in retail, I'm just gonna say, you know, it's not the employees' fault. They, you know, for anything. I've had so many people turn around to me and just have a go at me like, your policies are crap. They're not my policies. They're the companies I work for policies. And just like your boss, you have to do what they say. So, yeah. So this is just so silly over like a throwaway joke. You shouldn't like lose your shit over it. You know, it's supposed to, like they say it ironically in like Rick and Morty. It's supposed to be like a throwaway joke, as in like, you're not supposed to worry about silly little things like, I can't even think of the right word now, but you know, it's supposed to be like, you know, don't worry about these little things, and people just went absolutely mental. There are videos online of like people chanting "We want sauce" in like just in McDonald's, and the staff are like, what the hell is happening? There's like, is this like a cult? It's ridiculous. And like on top of that, like just think how like threatening that must have been for the blooming poor people that worked behind there, plus just the people that came in there on a breakfast who just wanted to eat their bagel or their nuggets or whatever for breakfast. It's just ridiculous. So there is also a video of a guy jumping onto the counter, stamping his feet and doing a little dance on the counter, and then just kind of running out. I don't know if he thought it was cool or what, but yeah. So it's just really random. I don't quite get it. I said it was it's supposed to be like the materialistic items that you've got. Don't worry about them because they kind of go, they fade, you know. It's all supposed to be about like your memories and stuff like that are more important. But yeah, it's just so random. And like the worst part is the fact that McDonald's, if they did this, why they did like so little, so they did like 30 caps in each store, which I said is just, it's just silly. Because apparently, according to my research, what they have said is that it's supposed to be 2 parts barbecue and 1 part of their sweet and sour in regards to pots. So it's 2 pots of barbecue and 1 pot of sweet and sour, and that's all this Szechuan sauce is. And it's a bit like, if that's all it is, McDonald's literally has the items to actually do that without like causing this big hoo-ha, you know, damaging the Rick and Morty like name and stuff like that, which just, it just isn't fair. So yeah, it's just, I thought we'd end on that light note kind of today. Just a bit funny how fans can go like caca over certain things, but that is my PJ broadcast for today. As I've said earlier, if you want to subscribe to other things, the links are down below. Don't forget to hit the like button to say that you enjoyed this video, as well as subscribe to this channel for more videos like this one. I do a recommendation segment every Saturday that normally goes up. I have also, as you can tell, because the camera hasn't moved at all, fallen over, twisted, juddered, I have got a tripod. So yeah, that is, it's really pretty, which is awesome. So yeah, I kind of got told off a few times. I got told to buy a tripod. So yeah, I've bought myself a tripod, so that's awesome. But yeah, so the videos should at least be a little better quality now, so that's great. But thanks very much for watching, guys, and I will see you guys next time and on Saturday as well. And as I said, I will do some recording in Autumn Towers as well. But until then, I will see you then. So